It is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, and I am at 260K still, even after the Fed announcing that they are going to cut interest rates by 0.25%. It was kind of a volatile day for me. It was up 1%, and then it was down about 0.8%, right back up, if I can get to it. So right back up over 1% and then right back down. And I do believe on X yesterday, I did see that the implied move in the options market for the S&P or something, maybe it was the NASDAQ, the implied move was about 0.8 to 1%, somewhere around there. And I just think it's funny how my account moved 1% up and down basically all day, and now we're finishing at 0.8, and my Roth IRA is almost the exact inverse of it. It's down about 1%. And just to give a quick update on my recent transactions, I did go ahead and pay my Robinhood margin interest. It is starting to get a little big there. I'm going to have to dial it back a little bit when it comes to margin. And I did place a small bet, just $5, saying that the Fed is going to maintain rates. And unfortunately, I lost those $5. But for some reason, Robinhood only realizes $3. That's most likely because they don't count the fee as a loss, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I did lose $5. And until Robinhood Social becomes a thing, if you guys want slightly more up-to-date updates on my moves, sometimes I post, sometimes I don't, but it is going to be on my X account. So I did post that. Hopefully, none of you guys followed me on this bet that the Fed was going to maintain rates. The only reason why I did it was because I just wanted to test out the event contracts. I wanted to participate in it a little bit. And it was basically betting $5 to hopefully gain 95. So if they did maintain rate, I was going to get paid out $100, but obviously they didn't, and my max loss was $5. So that risk to reward was kind of worth it for me, I guess you could say. And it's only $5, so it's not really that big of a deal. And of course, I have some more upcoming dividends. I have a very pitiful one coming from EA. I have a VFC one, Pepsi one, and a Nike one. And nothing much has changed when it comes to my option positions. If we scroll down to my top positions, Robinhood was up today, of course. Nike slightly down, Palantir slightly down, Pepsi slightly up. We have Honest. So, I mean, not much has moved around except for PayPal going up over 3% today. However, earlier today, clothing stocks were actually making a big move. Kohl's was up, I want to say almost 10% today, almost. And then American Eagle surprisingly finishing slightly green, but earlier today it was up over 2% for $20 a share, over $20 a share. Levi's, of course, it was up a little bit more earlier today, but just slightly giving up its gains. VFC was up over 5%, but now it's only up slightly above 1%, almost 2%. And for any of you guys that have been following me for a long time now, you guys will know that I have an E-Trade account that is more of a speculative trading type of account, where I take a little bit more risk, but it is a smaller account. And in that account, I was up almost 200% on my Kohl's option contract, and I did go ahead and take profit. So I know you guys see this one position on the screen, but it's just a short-term treasuries ETF. So basically, as of right now, my E-Trade account is in all cash. The reason why I have a little bit in that treasuries ETF is just to collect a little bit of yield. And for any of my very long-term viewers will know that that E-Trade account, I believe I started it in 2022. I believe I'm going to have to give you guys the exact numbers somewhere in the future. But I did start it around 2022 with $5,000, and then it crashed all the way down to about 2,500. So about 50% I lost because I was just day trading. I was kind of speculating, doing a lot of speculative trades. And the reason why I kept it so small only at $5,000 was because I knew I was going to lose money, but I wanted to learn trading a little bit. So I kept going, of course, but it was unfortunate that I had lost half of my account. But slowly and surely, I started climbing back up all the way to 5,000, of course, with the help of Robinhood, as always. But now it's sitting at about $5,600, and it's all cash. Basically, a little bit is in a treasury ETF, but it is what it is. It's basically all cash. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. But as for my Roth IRA, unfortunately, it's been very stagnant. It was up, it was over $1,900, but now it's only above $1,500, unfortunately, and it's mostly because of AMD, of course. And if we take a look at my holdings with my total returns, I do have 100 shares of the leveraged AMD ETF. I also have RAPX, I have Lemonade, American Express, and a new position I'll get to in just a second. I have a little bit in a Brazil ETF. I have a little bit of Levi's, American Eagle, Kohl's. I did have a few more shares of each of those clothing stocks, but I've been taking profit. But as for my new position in my Roth IRA, is actually going to be Grinder. Now, a lot of you guys are probably chuckling, but I actually think it's an interesting opportunity because I'm seeing a little bit of similarities with Robinhood. Now, obviously, Robinhood is a much higher conviction play for me, in my opinion, subjective here, but I think it's a better product. Obviously, Robinhood is filling a much, bigger niche, I think, because no matter who you are, whether, if you're a human being, you need to be financially educated, right? At least that's my personal opinion. Now, obviously, LGBT community, I would assume, is a smaller community than the finance community. I'm just assuming here because, the entire LGBT community, I think, should be financially literate. I think it would be good if everybody was, every human being on the planet. So obviously Robinhood is a much higher conviction play, but when I say there are some similarities here that I'm seeing with GRND, if we look at the monthly chart for GRND, we see that it's sitting at roughly, I want to say this is the 21 moving average, but it's one of the moving averages. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's sitting at about slightly above this monthly moving average. If we go to the weekly, as we can see, there's a very big selling block here and going all the way up to $70. But we are slightly below a moving average on the weekly, but on my personal indicator, we are a bit oversold. But also, if any of you guys look at the Robinhood chart, you'll remember that the stock did crash a lot by about 90%, I believe. But the old all-time high was $85 a share, and it looked like we would never get there, right? As Robinhood shareholders, if any of you guys were buying Robinhood at $8 a share, it seemed like we would never get there. But here we are at $120 right now. So we are sitting on a major moving average right now, and I also believe they've been consistently producing positive free cash flow per share. And they've also been growing the revenues, I believe. And in recent years, I think this year, they've actually been buying back stocks. So I'm seeing a little bit more signs of hope for this stock. And I get it if a lot of you guys don't want to invest in it for, political reasons, religious reasons, whatever, personal reasons. I completely understand that. I'm just straight going off of the numbers and what I'm seeing. So I think it's worth just a few dollars here and there for me. Obviously I'm not going to go all in and put my whole net worth into it, but it was just something that I thought I would share with you guys and keep you guys updated with my Roth IRA. Now, hopefully you guys already follow me on my X account and you've already seen this post that I kind of reposted from Zero Hedge. But if you guys haven't seen it already, I'll just go ahead and show you guys. But by the way, this was the post that I made 16 hours ago of my $5 bet that I lost, of course. And also I posted this right here, my year-to-date realized gains. So we do have a screenshot of my year-to-date gains on there as well. But here we have the 1 month, I think that's a month, 1 month average of Barclays equity euphoria indicator. I'm not sure how they specifically calculated these numbers, but as you can see, last time we were in this zone was during the dot-com bubble and the meme stock frenzy. So we are creeping into some dangerous territory here, and I quoted it or reposted it, whatever you call it, with 2026, of course, because I think 2026 will be near that peak that we'll see, and then 2027, maybe 2028, we'll start to see a slide in the market, or maybe we'll see it in 2026, who knows. But I just thought it was an interesting post on X. And now we get to some of your guys' comments in my previous video. We have Carter saying, do you think we will see $30 per share for SoFi? And obviously, I do think SoFi will eventually hit $30 a share because I do own a bunch of the stock. But obviously, I can't tell you the exact date of when I think SoFi will hit $30 a share. We have Tia saying, I've heard a lot about Open recently. Those gains are amazing in such a short time. Wish I invested earlier. I caught it at $2 but passed it up. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. Those are some crazy gains I would have loved to participated in, but it is what it is. It's not worth stressing over. And you also said heard Robinhood was open to adding retail to the app, guessing way later in the future though. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I assume you're talking about the recent news of Robinhood coming out with their own fund, which is to it's to invest in private companies. So it's giving retail access to private companies indirectly. And I'm pretty sure SoFi already has this product or this type of product. So Robinhood is actually late. I mean, Robinhood is usually up to speed on everything, and they're usually the first to release a feature like, I think, the 24-hour market that was pioneered by Robinhood. And of course, now with the whole stock tokens thing, I don't think Robinhood was the first, but they are the first like mainstream company to actually look into it. So they are usually up to speed on everything, but actually investing in private companies indirectly is something that SoFi had before Robinhood. So I'm not too excited about this news. Yeah, it is good for Robinhood because they'll be able to collect fees off of that fund, and they'll also I assume Robinhood will be a major shareholder in these companies that it will be investing it through the fund. So it is a positive for Robinhood, but I mean, I'm not really too excited about it. And then we have Doma saying, pun intended, and you're referring to when I said I need to keep my eyes open for open stock. Honestly, it wasn't really intended, but I already responded to your comment. We have Asuka saying, is there a specific reason you don't take advantage of tax-free Roth IRA withdrawals and max it out? Seems like your Roth is in such a minuscule position compared to your individual. And yeah, I probably should be investing a lot more in my Roth IRA, depositing a lot more, but as of right now, my main priority is to bulk up my individual account to get it to a position where it can actually replace a lot of my income. And then I'll start worrying about retirement. Obviously, that's not financial advice. I'm not saying everybody should do it like that. That's just kind of what I'm doing. And also, I deposited $1,000 and I'm just playing with $1,000 kind of as like a personal challenge to see how fast I can grow that amount. But yeah, the main reason why I don't really deposit too much in my Roth IRA and why it's so small is because my main priority is my actual brokerage accounts that I'm able to play with, withdraw, and actually, if I wanted to, withdraw right now.